let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started. Yeah, let's get started. So, today the plan is going to be checking on my rank on the DH, see how far I've fallen. So that we can realize if we need to work on um, maintaining the rank, and it will be difficult, I would say, because I am using elusive ring. So we will find out. Yes, and recently I made got the wizard going. So yeah, let me move the other text. Yeah, I the reason why I moved it just now, or for the start of the stream, is because what I want to show is that I just logged on to D3. So it's basically a process of, you know, starting the day, and also the continuity of my log in terms of pushing, because my mindset towards trying to get a better rift or something, I don't really do that. So like I want to show from start to finish most of the time. Uh, and so let's go ahead, go back out to DH. And yes, I am using a Yanks on softcore. I normally do that only on hardcore if I ever play hardcore. So anyway, the reason why I have the Yanks is because this season I actually got an early 600% ancient that is actually like uh, just above decent, uh, to where I'm actually using one. So then it's finally settled that I can use Yangs for T16 farming. So let's go ahead and get, not that button. Okay, so let's see. Have I fallen? Yes, I've fallen overall, obviously, after a day and a half or even 2 days of not pushing GRs. Let's go back to the God DH. So at the time of my completion, I got to rank 32 specific God leaderboard, GoD Dreadlands leaderboard. Let's see. So I've fallen from 32 to 40. So it isn't too bad. Not too bad. To obtain a decent 121, or to obtain top 30 now would take, to get the same amount of time as I did on the 120. And the reason why I got a 120 this like 10-minute plus is because I actually got graveyard on the fourth try. On the third try, I got a backward pylon power play as well, but it was just not enough time for me to kill the Rift Guardian. So unfortunately, that didn't work out on the third try. However, on the fourth try, I did the same thing. However, I got a graveyard to start on the first floor, and even though the first pylon was the power, I decided that I don't need to use it in the first, you know, from the first minute. Like I can I can work towards it for the end. So that's the backward power pylon play, and that's how I got the uh 10-minute 30-ish completion. And so my goal that I want really is to try to get to top 30. And let's go ahead and check. It was only Paragon 1245 that I completed it. And so today now I'm only at like 1320. It's it's more or less whether I want to do like an attempt or not to try to get the top 30. Now I really want to, in terms of just uh to show the difference in the use of, you know, gear wise. And I also noticed last time when I did check the leaderboard of someone else, someone else was using the Royal Ring with the Bariza version, and obviously that is definitely like more a little slightly outside use on top of mine. Um, in terms of mine has vaults from since PTR 2.6.9, as well as vanishing powder that I favor more because it acts pretty close to the Witch Doctor's Spirit Walk in terms of um, usability. So I enjoy Elusive Ring because I also like to pull chaotically. Just like as though there wasn't those new maps for GRs like the Graveyard, my playstyle is pretty much like um, the old, better, like the best version of Spire, like the godly circular Spire. My playstyle is like that in terms of pushing higher and higher. Or you can say that, if you're watching like other people who do like really high GRs and like they get a festering woods and or a battlefield that they pull a lot of stuff together, that's or like even for the Marauder set, like to take advantage of where you set up your sentries like in a central location and you don't want to re reorganize and reset or replace uh redo the placements of the sentries, that you bring everything towards your sentries. I play my god DH like that. So meaning that I set things up in a cluster. And so I enjoy Elusive Ring more. And even to talk about as far as the season where we have the fourth slot, the fourth slot to me is adding, for example, Mantle of Channeling or COE or something like that. My third slot, generally for being jewelry, being a jewelry slot, for the DH is Elusive Ring. So whenever you think about adding a cube slot, right? Adding a cube slot is adding damage. It's adding damage. So you want to take advantage of adding damage. Now, obviously, you can say that in reverse, adding defense. But you can also think of the season where it was like sort of a triple threat. I call it a triple threat because you can just put multiple multipliers of for your weapons, for like whether it's the Witch Doctor build or whether it's the Necromancer build or something like that. So when you think of it this way, right? A standard cube powers of three, like the standard versions, like what we have today and on other seasons, not that triple threat season, you can always think of your slots as somewhat pretty much on the defensive side. Like there's like two-thirds of it should be defensive anyway. Or like cooldown oriented, you know, when it's cooldown oriented, it's a passive defense, right? So generally, for the DH, I just feel like the elusive ring definitely suits as a third slot. Now a lot of people push with COE a little early, I would say. I mean, sure you can take advantage of COE as early as you get one, um, but I prefer the third slot being COE. Now, if there comes a time when they put a fourth slot again, that would be my COE or Mental of Channeling. Hey Simon, I'm just going through my last push gear, and then also I just checked my leaderboard that I fell 8 ranks of the God specific DH, and I'm thinking about whether I want to go for uh, going back to closer to top 30. But I really only gained, you know, since 1245 clear, I only gained to 1320 Paragon. I didn't do that much. I didn't work on Paragons that much since. So it might be a quite difficult to do a 121. And I mean, I can go for it just to make attempts for it. However, I do also like to use limited amount of keys, not from going to Auric to close the GR, but to actually attempt most of them. Meaning to attempt most of them, meaning that I actually try until the point where I'm 2 minutes behind and then leave. But I don't just go at the door and then just because at the door doesn't make sense that you just go back to town and close it and then open a new one. Well, outside of lag, I guess, which happened yesterday night, when I opened like a Speeds 104 GR, I actually lagged like it was a festering woods, and I lagged right away as soon as I started to even cast my hungering arrow. The game just went all the way to um, red latency or latency, and like um, yeah, it was weird. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Um, when I did my 114, it was really easy, and then well, easy in the sense that it was 14 minute 27, and then it was even easier on the 115 that I got 12:56, 12 minutes 56. So compared like a 114 and a 115, that's huge because of pylon order. And so when I was deciding to do 116, I was talking about pylon order the whole time because since I don't use COE, my damage comes from how I organize the gameplay versus what monster types I'm given, as well as what maps I'm given, and the pylon order. Because the fact that the 115 was 12 minute 56 versus 14:27, which barely cut it, even though I thought it was easy. So like the 116 was like, a challenge for no augments. Now, I just didn't say that, but I was actually pushing with no augments, and I wanted to do it all the way to 115, and I did it. And so I didn't have augments for even the 116. And the um, and like going through the several tries that I did, I think it was fifth try. Sorry, maybe the 116 was like a fifth try. I'm thinking of the last push I had for the 120, which was fourth try. But anyway, it was just some several attempts on the 116, and it's in my VODs anyway. Um, that it happened to be the pilot order that saved me um most of the time. So then even for my GR 120 clear, um I got the graveyard on the fourth try. The third try I had uh power and conduit as well, but when I tried the backward power play, it didn't work out. I still was short by like a minute or something minimum. So then, on the fourth try, I got graveyard to start with the power pylon, and I said to myself, well, I don't need I don't need that. The graveyard map or the newer maps clearly give rise to a a very good start. So let's go ahead and go in game now. And I guess I don't mind trying because I really want to maintain my rank. So I'm gonna show the rank again, I guess, and just to show that I'm starting out. Let's go ahead and move my stuff back. Let's move the stuff back first. Let's go ahead and move our stuff. Set up for the push setup. And I'm also considering whether I want to put back ambush first, even though it only affects the first quarter of the time. So I'm considering about that. I know archery is kind of like a passive increase, but it's like an overall increase. Oh, yesterday I was playing more of my wizard, so that's why I have some paragon points unused. Let's go ahead and show the leaderboard again. Rank 40. So I dropped from 32 to 40 since the completion. I did this at early afternoon, just about less than 2 hours from now, 2 days ago. And this is my gear: helmet, which is basically near primal, shoulders near primal. I chose to not use an ancient, my first actual only ancient gloves that was 10 area, so I changed the cooldown because I needed it. Uh, this is my latest restraint that was actually just better and the usual kind of restraint. This is the Vala that I got from the first GR 116 fail. I actually went to go through it all and got an amazing upgrade because life per hit actually helps me stay in Oculus rings uh, longer when I'm doing no augments. I mean, when I'm doing no augments during that 116, but now I've already shown that I cleared 120, so it is augmented. But at the time, it wasn't augmented. When I finished the 116. This is my pair of boots. This is like the fourth ancient or fourth or fifth ancient out of the whole stack of boots that I was gambling at the time, and this finally rolled me all resist. This is the pair that my friend Atog gave to me. But even before this, my version was it had the option to roll out base vit for hungering just like this one, except that this one has the 2% chance slow on hit. I've been gambling belts now, and I'm up to like about 4,500 belts, and I only got like two or three ancient ones that are still um, not capable to match this 198. I think the two most prominent ancient ones that I remember were 188 and 173%. Uh, this is another chess piece. Before when I did all the first tries up to 116, or even 117 or 118, something like that, maybe that I was using a different chess piece. It was an ancient with cold res, but I wanted a lightning res, and this one gave me lightning res and the max discipline for my vault tumble that I choose to do, even though it's like a dead skill to people, and then the Mystic re-rolling stats. While I was looking for 15% life, they showed me this reduced damage elites, which in my experience, if you get this within 7 to 10 rolls or something close to that, or even sooner than that, you should just pick the reduced elite. Otherwise, it will only pop up after like 40 to 50 plus tries. So if you get it, perfect. If you don't, stay with 15% life or something that you need, like all resist if you don't get a specific direct resist. Squirt's Necklace this season hasn't been great. I've been trolled a lot with the 53% crit hit damage versions. I finally did some reforging and got this is the best one, and I'm still using this. Uh, in the meantime, uh, so since the first version of my ancient goggles was an all resist version, I wanted more lightning resist that this chess piece fixed now or more recently, that I actually swapped to the all resist bracer as well, because it also gained from 45% legendary passive, it gained to 47, so by 2% gain. And my focus ring, I have had a lot of really bad focus ring this season up until today. Uh, and the one before this was all right, but then this one showed 20 base area, and I like when it shows me default rolls. However, it rolled Dex Vit 20 area, so unfortunately, it's not the flex. I call them the flex versions, where you can flex between 20 area or 8 cooldown or whatever you need, whatever the build needs, right? That's the flex versions. Yeah, rings, jewelry in general are hard to get the good ones. And then lastly, this is what I was talking about at the start of the stream, where I finally uh get an equipable on softcore that is worth equipping. Now, a lot of people play T16 and bounties with like Yang's and ninth series satchel, um, but I always get those 40, like 484% or 480 something percent, or even worse, 458% of this. So I finally got a 600% version ancient that also gave max discipline and stuff like that. Whereas the best ever 9th series satchel that I could use was actually back in the season 24 when we were using ethereals with the Bariza, and that we need a 9th series satchel. I actually got a non-ancient version 599% that actually rolled even better than this in terms of the primary stats. So like Um, it was only at that time that I really truly use a two-hander outside of Yang's, obviously because of the ethereal power in terms of damage output. So now that I actually got this, I'm using it because I haven't got an Ancient Dawn that's it, I think the best Ancient Dawn, I think it was only one, and it rolled like what, either 57% or 59%, I don't remember. But it was only one out of like, I don't know, 15 different Dawns. I haven't crafted force craft. I didn't force upgrade any Dawns at all. Um, but my best Dawn before using this was a non-ancient 64% with 22 base area roll and 8 CDR. And then before that, it was a 62% best Dawn with just random stuff that could only get cooldown for with I think life per hit or something like that. Um, and then every other Dawns over time, even until today, has been non-ancient, and sometimes they give me 50% roll, like literal lowest possible minimum roll. So until I get a good Ancient Dawn, I will be using this Night Series Satchel. And also last night, my friend actually got, like while I was watching, uh, she got an Ancient 65 with 9 base CDR, and so I was like, man, congrats! I even before she ID, I even said good luck on your new Dawn, and then it ended up being 65% usable. So she got her near primal Dawn basically, and I'm I'm hoping that I'm gonna be able to work on that one uh sometime, you know, soon. And as soon as I get that Dawn, that will be fantastic. And last night for me, before she got her Dawn, her ancient Dawn, like several hours before that, uh, early in the evening last night, I actually got my during the time when it was lagging last night for a lot of people, whether it's login issues or something like that, authentication issues, I actually saw a red beam for boots, for set boots. And while I have more primals on the Marauder side, this is finally the first usable pair of boots that I got. And I was really hoping that there wasn't anything big issues on yesterday's servers because a lot of my friends were going on and offline and everything. So I really hope that it wasn't gonna boot me out of it during after which I found this not long after. But anyway, it ended up being not a terrible situation. So there's that. But this is my upgrade since the last pair of boots I showed on the hero details on the leaderboard. So I guess after all that, let's try the 121, and you can see that I, like scrolling to the top, I I only unlock 121. So it's not like I did some groups to where I, unlock via groups necessarily. And even if I did, which I did before during when I were doing the 117, 118, and 119 and 120, I did do groups 120, so it was unlocked in groups, but I went through it all. I went through 117, 118, 119, 120 myself as though I was unlocking it myself. So here it shows that I can't go further up on the up arrow, that I did not do any more unlocks via groups, and I also don't play any ZDH. And in terms of my gems, I always push them as close to +1 over my successful push. So all my main gems here are all at 121, which is +1 over the actual success push because it is still at 60% when you do one clear. And uh if your if your gems are at the same level of your push, you get to go one up at 60%. So my method of my gems also in clearing are either like way under the push or on par with the push tier GR. So in that sense, or sometimes if I do play in groups where I we unlock higher in groups that it might be like a +5 over my actual push success and push attempt, but I don't go farther than that. I mean, maybe the one time I did was maybe +8 over, but a lot of other people I've seen because they play ZDH, they play support, they play the meta groups and stuff like that. Their push is skewed like about 10 to 15 rank gems over their push, just because they decide to try, go back and try it, after playing a lot of groups that their gems are way up there. And so it's kind of, it skews a bit of their attempt, not to undermine their attempt, but it's just a little skewed. So I try to do the plus minus range of Paragon for a specific GR tier to have that success as well, so that it kind of shows where you could potentially do. And also, a lot of people have pushed, higher under me, but then again, they have the opportunity to use a COE or a two-hander version. Like if they got Primal Yangs or Primal Bariza, uh, or I don't know, I guess the Odyssey's End version as well, or what it may be, that they can clear higher with a different, more multiplier build or additive, anything uh past my elusive ring version of gameplay. So let's go ahead and try the 121. I guess after all that, I want to see whether my several paragons passed from 1245 to now at 1320, that I get a good map. And honestly, I've already done a lot of first tries before. Uh, I don't think it's needless to say that uh, the better maps are going to help out with lowering my number of attempts. But I generally don't really want to spend too many keys on my push attempts if I don't need to. So that's another reason why I try to raise my Paragon about, every tier from now. I would say that my general experience will be that I should push every 100 to 150 Paragon, and I'm not at that point yet. It was only 1245 that I last cleared a 120. So really, it's not even 100 Paragon passed, which um I think I might struggle with this 121 unless I get the same maps as I did before, which uh which they did pretty well with, giving us the better maps and help us, not struggle as much. So let's find out. I am going to empower. I know I'm dropping down below my 10 billion gold now. I have been empowering my speed runs as well, my speed 104s or 108s or 109s. So I intend to empower because I like to work on my main gems. And if this is successful, well, then I get to go 122s if they don't fail. Let's double check my skills and we'll go. My gems are correct, and I'm at 3.1. That's okay. My light res is good. Phys res is good. 750k health pool, which is where I want. I want minimum of 700k. So if anything, if I feel like I'm still short, I might drop myself all the way to 700k health, but I'm not gonna go below that. So here we go. Come on, big money. Come on, big money. Let's go. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I didn't get the ideal openings. Although it is Hulks. It is hulks, but it's only one. But I generally also kill my starting density if I can to kind of get a feel and warm up of what I can do. So I generally try to clear out as much as my first density cluster so to know and understand whether my time, my bar is good or not. Because if you just skip towards the next set, you don't know what's ahead of you. So then your bar doesn't even show purple. That's bad. You know, that's really bad. So you want to show at least some purple while you're progressing from the beginning. So here I have a first elite is yellow. I do have some transforming towards unholy thralls. I think this is a bad opening already. This is bad. So I think I'm gonna skip this. I don't really want to fight a yellow honestly in the beginning. I prefer fighting blues that are not shielding, so that they don't waste my time. So here I'm just gonna fight some density again, just to see what my damage is like. My bait progress is really annoying to see now. It is a bad start, not only the map, but obviously the monster types as well. So this is a bad one. Let's see. This is a teleporter. If they do follow me, that is perfect. This is a little bit better in terms of density. And if they follow, that's better. You should always try to make use of the elite affixes, such as teleporter, to actually create more density for yourself. This is a bad one. I'm gonna try to see if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else because this is a dead end and this is the exit. So I guess I'm just gonna kill this density and move on and hope that the next map is better. Now, depending on how much density I am clearing, how far down I get this blue pack, then I might stay. But this is already a bad start. Um, unless the next map is good. So I do understand that I should have probably gone to the next map to check now, but I've already committed, and I just think that I should just, stick with what I'm saying and just fight on since they are dropping. It's not like I'm actually struggling. I think I have the damage for dropping this elite pack if I just use all these Oculus rings sparingly and effectively. So this last Hulk better help me out with in terms of the Oculus Ring. And then we will see how much time I'm gonna be even overstaying. And I know that I could have played better with the Squirt Necklace since they are melee-ish hitting. But it doesn't matter. Let's see what the next map. Oh boy, double Act One halls. That is just a bad way to start your 121 push. As a first attempt, you know, the expectation is that you get a good map and then you face roll it and it will be easy. But in this case, it's the total opposite. Well, while while Halls of Agony isn't the worst, some people say Corvus is the worst or something like that, and maybe even Caves, obviously. But repeating double maps like this that aren't favorable is just as bad as a Corvus opening. And in fact, I have completed Corvus opening before, so it's not really that bad. I think Act 1 Halls is worse. Unless you get like Lacuni Slashers and Brood Mutters and stuff like that. Okay, so I have an early power. Now, a first power pylon. Now, you know, the thing is, it's not too far from the first floor and the second floor. So there is a chance that if my third floor is really good, that I could do a backward power play as well. Um, the question is, should I even bother to do that strategy? Because, well, for one, this is already telling me that I should have just, gone back and restart. The other part is that I do need power pylon for the Rift Guardian. Um, it it is a thing. because I'm not using COE. So I'm using the power pylon as my COE, which really means that I cannot afford to do this. And so while I'm talking and staying here, the reason why I'm staying here is because if I do need some kills, I can have those kills there right at the power pylon. And so I'm just gonna move on and probably just whittle this down so that I can come back for the big pylon power play. So I'm going to whittle this down a little bit more, just a little bit more. Okay, leave them there. I'm going to leave them there. Okay, so my next blue is illusionist stuff. Nope, no thanks. So I'm already pretty much this GR push is basically done. Uh, it's basically there's no turning back. The only way to turn this back is if the next floor is graveyard with the best stuff. Um, or a battlefield with the best stuff, or festering woods with the best stuff. So basically, you gotta have the best of the best stuff on the third floor, in order to complete it. Or like a or like a map that is like really good with like the best percent progression per kill. So I'm just gonna try to make up some time with this part of the density, and we'll find out what the next floor is. And yes, I will be going for that power pylon play. And with the next map, I will know if I'm gonna stay or not for this. So this is how I generally push. I don't just leave right at the door kind of method. I know this might be a little tiring for people to try, but then again, this is just my first GR opening. There's almost no reason to do that, and this is still a lower tier. Like in terms of pushing, this is not even high GR. So you don't have to do what you have to do, like versus the higher GR methods, where you got to really find the most ideal of the ideal, right? This is low enough to where you can still attempt without doing that. So here the density is good, but I'm short on time. I really need to move on to see what the third floor is because this is a waller. But then I do have quite good density, so I really just want to kill this density and move on. But again, if the walls are bad, then it will only chew up my time even more. But the walls so far haven't been bad yet. Arcane beams are bad, so I'm moving on. All right, let's see. Let's see the exit. What is it? Okay, West March. Is it good though? No. It's not that great. Ranged porcupines are okay. Their health is going down relatively quickly. That's one good news. The bad news is that it's West March, and it will come down to my next pylon based on number of kills because I don't think I'm gonna get much help, any more help. West March is definitely not the way to go, and I have a feeling I should just leave. But again, I really want to see what the next floor is because I kind of want to know like how bad is a bad roll of a rift. So this is like okay, so this is not like damaging like painful rift in terms of damage taken. This is just a bad rift in terms of like the maps, like the order of maps is just terrible. So there's no way to complete this already by this point. Okay, finally got a spire on floor 4. Uh, but again, it is Moon Clan Impalers, so this is over. This is over. And I am TPing out. I am TPing out. This is officially over. Because there's no way, if there's no good, um, no actual good uh, density monster types. Now, this is my second time ever using this closing method because the last one was yesterday night when it was lagging at the door, and I even have a VOD for that particular experience. I opened the GR, it was lagging all the way to red for no apparent reason. That before that, my my latency was green. So anyway, this is my second time that I ever close like that, because I don't ever need to close like that. I generally just go through it all. But since I was already, like I said, I went through it. I was under by 2 to 3 minutes. I had the worst two first starting maps as well as all the monster types. So let's go ahead for the second try. Here we go. Okay, Act 2. Oh, really? The volume is bad? Okay. That's weird because my mic is at max. I mean, I can go higher. I can go a little higher. I can filter to gain, increase the gain just a little bit as well. Okay, no problem. I'll increase the gain by like half. I mean 0.5. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Hello, by the way. Yeah, so this is gonna be my second attempt. It's fine, it's fine. Second attempt. Good to let me know as well. Okay, so this is a teleporter yellow. Um, I usually take advantage of teleporter affixes, and I think my advice is that you should. Now the bad news here is that it's fire shamans, and I don't like fire shamans. Um, Although they say that, it was actually funny that in the beginning of the PTR, they did. I was quite disappointed that they didn't touch on the fire shamans at first, until later, until the second iteration of the PTR, that they finally decided to uh adjust fire shaman. But um from my season experience, fire shamans are still way too painful for the use of squirt necklace for the uptime, as well as the percentage is just not that great. I mean, sure, here I'm gaining some, but it's all from the accursed. Okay, so let me try to concentrate. Um, this yellow is not following. It's a teleporter, but he's not actively teleporting, so this is really bad. Next, this is a Waller blue, right? Or no, it was this guy that dropped. Wait, what? Yeah, the blue is the Waller. Okay. Yeah, so this is not a good start already. I mean, most of the density gave me most of the progress. So I guess I should just fight density and try to go for the next map. I'm just trying to, on the fly, analyzing as we go. This blue is all right, but it's a Waller, so this is gonna cut my damage. But I'm gonna use as much density to get my percentage up until I go to the next map. Yes. So the next map is over there. I'll just kill a little bit more and then move on. Yep, moving on. West March again. Let's see. It's chickens. Okay. Um, the monster type is better than the first attempt. This is reasonable. As you can see that my progress bar is actually better than the first try, right? So this is reasonable. This is reasonable. Um, yeah, this is reasonable. I mean, I can still make up the time because I was, you know, making on the fly decisions and trying to help others understand what monster types are good. This is all right. Um, but I don't have enough density. Well, scratch that. Now I do. Now the better question is, what pylon am I gonna get that would help me out? If I do end up pulling a third one. Now I pulled two packs here. Um, and so I have to be careful. But I am using elusive ring, and I also thrive playing like this with more elites. So in terms of COE users, you might be actually playing this at an even harder. Um, I mean, sure you can kill faster, but you might not be able to pull this off necessarily. So you might be able to kill faster, but you might only be killing one elite at a time instead of two like this. as well as going through them like that. It's not as easy to go through them like that with COE unless you're really well geared, or like much higher paragons, or your main gems are just over leveled. Then obviously you can kill them even faster, right? But in general, you won't be going through them half the time like this with the COE version. So that's one down. This one unfortunately did not drop, so I'm not gonna waste my time unless I see a good pylon to help me get that one. If I'm in the right distance, because I'm not going to go backwards unless I go to a dead end. So let's use as many Oculus rings as I can to make up time. So I engage some fire chains over here. I still don't see my pylon yet. Um, the density is not very good, but they are falling. However, not that one. The funny part about you know pushing is that sometimes you have one blue that's like off onto the side or something, and they don't get hit as much, and then that third blue wastes your time to overstay completely. So here, this this blue right there is like the one that's gonna waste my time the most. Which is why I'm slowly trying to push them together. This is good. This is really good tight positioning. Just avoid getting hit by the fire chains though. And so with this tightly compactness, the third one is actually reasonable time for me to clear. So I am inching the time. So this is a shield. I knew that it's gonna be appearing somewhere here. But let me check if there's a pack. Okay, there is. However, I think this is a shielding pack, so I guess it's fair game. I am going to try to pull them together at the pylon so that I don't have to go, you know, separately. So let's go ahead and pull them towards the pylon before I make the play. And Waller doesn't help, but with the shield, it doesn't matter. It's fair game. All right, fair game. Let's go. Let's go. Use the Oculus Ring just because. Let's go. So you always want to try to pull the elites, or you know, plan out your pylon plays like this, so that you use your area damage if your build is an area damage oriented, and just try your best to you know position yourself nearer to the pylon so that you don't have to split up the thing. Kind of like, using a conduit in the Echoing Nightmare. You want to be closer to the enemies instead of, being far. Obviously, in Echoing Nightmare, you have to dodge the meteors, you have to dodge explosions, but otherwise, you want to always hit as many targets as you can with the conduit. This is the same, but for a shield. So you want them to be all together at the same time. Now, in terms of damage output, I'm actually shocked that I'm taking this long, but then again, they are shielding. So we'll find out if I'm gonna be able to catch the time here. So I actually broke even the time, and then here's my conduit, which is kind of awkward, which is really awkward now. Um, I might have to take it. I might have to take it and just play it. So this is not an ideal conduit situation. Um, while it's good that I still have my shield, I decided to go for it because it is the next floor, and I want to know what the next floor is anyway. So this is just the quicker way to play the conduit. It's not the best conduit. Okay, it is battlefield. So I don't really like a fire shaman elite. So let's go ahead and try to use this conduit for more density if I can. I'll use it for this spot. This spot has two elites. So this is a good decision that I moved on from that fire shaman and used the rest of my conduit for two packs instead of just one, because the conduit popped up on the wrong floor. So see how I used the conduit exactly for the two other elites. Now there's a third one obviously here, but I wouldn't have made it otherwise. I wouldn't have made the conduit over to this pack anyway. So it was actually a good skip. Um, it was actually a very good skip for me to skip that fire shaman, even though I took the fire shaman down to 2/3 from just the small little moments of my conduit, right? I mean, you can say that I could have killed the fire shaman in the next 5 seconds, but you can also say that, well, I might not have killed two blues. The two blues could have outlasted longer than the fire shaman would have if they were shielding or whatever the blues that is. So I don't know what affixes were the blues. I just assumed that my conduit would be able to take them out. So here I have two elites. Here I saw that the scorpion joined this pack of elite here. Now I am ahead of time, so let's just not talk about it as much. I hope to get this blue down as fast as I can while taking out this yellow. Now this yellow will not drop as fast as I think it would, but let's hope that it does drop at the same time, which is I just already killed the blue. So let's see. I think the yellow is at half health. Let's go ahead and find out what my pylon is. It's channeling. Is there anything else? Is there anything else? Because I feel like I just have to take this and see if it's not a jug. Is it a jug? It's not a jug. Okay. It's not a jug. I can try to stay to fight this scorpion instead. So I am going to stay, but I'm not going to stay for the that other yellow unless that other yellow falls as well. So we'll see how far down that other yellow, the pylon spawned yellow, will be. I am going to try to use as many Oculus rings to kill the yellow scorpion elite that I pulled towards this pylon. So the yellow's going down soon, I believe. There we go. Oh wait, that was the minion. Because I saw the health of the scorpion was like 2%. Okay, here we go. It's at okay, so the other yellow went half. So I don't need that. I don't need that. Um I need to move on. I only need 3%. So let's go ahead and move on. I just need density now. I just need density. I don't want to deal with half a yellow. Let's just use density and Oculus rings. There we go. Alright, Infernal Maiden. I'm just concentrating. There we go. Done. Got it. 1417. Second try. Not bad. Not bad. Well, it's not really even a second try because the first one is so bad. The first one is like Act 1 hauls twice with really bad mob types and everything. So, hope you guys enjoyed that 121 massive talking as I was going through that. I hope you guys enjoyed that massive talking out loud of everything that I'm doing, um, which I usually do anyway, but I think I did that more excessively than I need to. So I hope you guys enjoyed that 121 second try. Let's go ahead and upgrade our gems. As you can see, Urshi's talking to me, so it means that I haven't really done much today. Yes, 122. Nice. Nice, 122. Nice, 122. Three ups so far. Very good. Very good. Four ups. Very good. Aw, 4 out of 5. That was worth it. That was worth it. I got my three main gem ups that I needed on my main gems. So that's very good. Okay, let's go ahead and look for some pools. That was very fun. That was a very fun 121. That's not a EXP pool. Okay, so that's not an EXP pool. Anyway, let's go ahead and check my rank. 34. So I went from 40 to 34. Well, I'm the last person. Not surprised. Not surprised I'm the last person of the 121. So let's go ahead and see the hero details. Helmet, helm, shoulders, gloves, my restraint, my Vala, and last night's uh, primal boots that I obtained. So that was the biggest change from the since the previous push attempt. That's the pair of pants that my friend gave me. I kept talking about it, that my friend gave it to me because he doesn't play this build. This is my belt. I haven't gotten an ancient version that's better. I chose to go back down to a non-ancient chest because I needed more lightning resist and it gave me here more max discipline for my vaulting. And I actually, in that GR push attempts, I actually didn't use my vault as much, so it is a dead skill. However, there are times when I actually use more vaulting for bigger pylon plays. And the Mystic reroll gave me reduce elite, so I chose reduce elite. This is my squirt necklace. Uh, this is the best I got so far, so I'm using this until I get a better one, and then my GR push will get easier. This is my Wraps of Clarity with all res version. This is the best focus I've seen in terms of area damage. Unfortunately, it was from base vitality to roll crit hit damage, and this is an interesting ancient 600% usable equipable version. So I'm using that until I get an ancient dawn. And like I said, I use vault, but in that GR attempt, I hardly vaulted that much because it wasn't that difficult. in terms of setting things up. And I use vanishing powder and not special recipe. And I use elusive. So rank 40, from rank 32 complete 120, drop down to 30 to 40, and then rank back up to 34. Did I make it to the overall? I didn't check. I skipped all the way through to the specific ranking. Nope, I didn't make it. I didn't even see the rank overall pop up anyway, so I figured as much. So let's go ahead and continue finding pools if I can. No, that's not a pool. That's not. That's a shrine. That's not. They're always so stingy with the pools, by the way. I mean, sure, everyone can, use a cow stick and whatnot, but as a DH, I've only seen one, at most two, from drops. So it's definitely different, you know, it's a different feel. Okay, here's a pool. I heard some gems dropped. Might as well click this. That's not a pool that I want. That's a shrine. That's not a pool I want. Okay, so I only got one in this one. Let's check for drops, make sure I didn't miss anything. And let's go ahead to go to another act for more searching. As a shrine. Leveled up. Is there a pool here? Yes, there is. Is there another extra one? Okay, I'm filled anyway. Let's go back. Got my pool that I wanted. Let's close it. 14, 17, like I said earlier, and I got my Paragon. Let's go ahead and ID the stuff. That was the second run. Second try, success. Awesome. There's a Hunter's Wrath. Is that ancient Hunter's Wrath? I can't see it yet from the summary. '81, no thank you. That's so funny. That's such a funny one. That's such a funny one. It's like saying that, hey, look, I'm a Dead Man's Legacy, but I also roll 15% cluster arrow. A 185, non-ancient. That's not good. All right, let's look at my materials. I guess my materials is only that much. I rebalanced it earlier last night, so let's go ahead and be a little bit, you know, handy and grab that real quick. Go back. Let's go ahead and salvage those. Let's go ahead and extract just for fun.